Howdy, welcome back to the channel. Today we're out here in the Tillamook State Forest near the Cedar Butte trailhead, and we're going to look for some Augite crystals. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So this is kind of the parking area. In order to get up there, the Cedar Butte trailhead is actually down that road. You can park down there too. The road up here is a little bit bumpy. If you have four-wheel drive, that's probably a little bit better. Luckily I do. I did get this idea to come out here from Jared from Currently Rockhounding, so shout out to his channel for doing that video a few weeks ago. So again, thank you, Jared. We are going to go down this way, about a third of a mile. And for those that are living in Oregon, this area is also in the Rockhounding books, if you have any of the books, and I did pull them this morning, so you can kind of get an idea. So I got both Rockhounding Oregon from Lars Johnson and the Gem Trails of Oregon from Garrett Romaine. And these locations, at least on this book, is on page 28. Kind of goes over the map, how to get here. And as Jared pointed out on his video, this is actually, you don't really need much really to rock out in this spot. Really, you only need, again, your fingers in a bag. And on this book, it's on page 27. Cedar Butte, Augite Crystals, Tools, Geology Pick, Collecting Bag. So, I mean, you could bring a pick if you want to. I brought one just because it never hurts. Actually, I got two, and I got some gloves in there. And in my bag, I actually do have a very minor first aid kit, and I'm also going to bring something to drink with me up there. But we're going to go ahead, start walking down that way, and get us some crystals. So I'm actually wondering if I could have driven my truck down here. I do have four-wheel drive, but again, my thing is, I don't know if there's any good turnarounds up here. And on my last trip to go get the pyrite crystals, I got a little adventurous and took one of the logging roads, and it was blocked off by a couple fallen trees. And I don't have a chainsaw in my truck. I have an axe, but I didn't feel like sitting there like Paul Bunyan cutting a tree out of the road, so I decided to back up, and it was not fun because visibility was low, as there was a lot of trees kind of growing over on the side of the road. And sure enough, look, there's a tree right here, so I'm glad I didn't drive down here. So I don't have one of those fancy gimbals for my phone when I'm recording, so the stabilization kind of sucks, and I don't like the auto stabilization that are built into the phones, because how those work is if you have it turned on your phone and you're not moving, it's wanting to constantly do this to kind of make up for it. So I kind of make do with what I have. Maybe someday I will. So I was hoping to actually go here a couple weeks ago, but I had to postpone the trip a couple times because I had to get shocks, had to get brakes. It was a very expensive week, to say the least. And then I think about a day or two before this trip, I was watching The Hobbit, and all I can see is Bilbo when he's running out of his place with a contract in his hand, and he's like, "I'm going on an adventure." That's kind of what I feel like right now. I'm going on an adventure. And it's been a hot minute since I've really come this far out to do rockhounding, because I'm always too busy in the shop or doing other stuff. But it's nice to go somewhere new every once in a while. So I'm filming this on June 21st, 2022. It is actually a really nice day for this. It's supposed to be 80 in the valley. And I think it's supposed to be like 70 here near Tillamook. So I can't complain too much. It's a nice day for it. Yep, that is a steep hill. I have to catch my breath first before we get up there. Alrighty, now that I've caught my breath, I haven't looked around at all yet. I forgot to bring like a little plastic container with me, but I did have a little canvas bag in my backpack, so that actually happens to work out. So we should be able to find them pretty easily according to Jared's video. Of course, he was out here and it was kind of wet, and so the crystals will probably be a little bit easier to find because of them being wet. So let's see what we can find. Oh, that was easy. So you can kind of see, kind of small. That didn't take very long at all. That's actually pretty cool. There's another one over here too. So yeah, these are pretty easy to find. That should be fun. Oh man. Whew, that's gonna be a hike. So yeah, no joke. They're literally all over this hillside. You just don't need any tools. You can just use your fingers, pick them up, call it good. I dropped that one, no big deal, because there's plenty. But yeah, got one right there. How big is that one? Not very big at all. That's okay. Kind of wish it was raining. Helps them shine a little bit more. I'd like to find some bigger ones if I can. Oh, it's small. That was a small one. See if I can have like a GoPro. Strap it to my head. Call it good. They're quite literally everywhere. I mean, if you look right here, going right there. Don't need any tools. You just come out here and pick them straight off the mountainside. Can't get easier than that, really. I would like to make it up there, though. I know he found some bigger ones up there. So, take my time, slow and steady, and we'll get up there. In the meantime, I'm going to be looking at the ground. Picking up crystals as I go. You can see a lot of the crystals there here in the matrix too. All I can hear is, ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. So cool. Just finding rough pieces in the matrix like that. Look how brittle it is too. See? No tools. It's kind of a cool piece. Just like that. Right out of the matrix. Right in the bag. Now, if you do happen to go rock hunting alone, like I am today, make sure to let someone know where you're going as far as exact location. That way, if something happens or you don't come back home, they know where to start looking. So, tip for the day. I'm taking my time going up this little hill because it is pretty steep. And so I decided to take this washout to see what I can find. And it's kind of interesting. You can see where the crystals have eroded out of the host material and deposited all over the side of the mountain. So the crystals are going to really range in sizes, but it is kind of interesting to see just how it erodes out. And I think even down in the parking lot where I parked, there is some sandy looking material that's really glittery. So I'm wondering if it was this material that had eventually eroded down to like a sand form. So I just thought that was kind of cool. Got a crystal right there. One thing I'm doing before I put it in the bag is I'm rolling with my fingers just to make sure that it's not a heavily broken or fractured piece that wouldn't survive the trip back. Because I actually found a nice big piece just down the mountain, down the hill, and I rolled it and I broke apart. It was pretty fractured. So I just kind of do that to test its strength, and then in the bag it goes. Alright, made to the top and the base of this hill. I found a hole that someone was digging. Looking through their tailings. And I have a good sized crystal. However, how stable is it? Oh, it's pretty stable. And I found another one over here. Little crystal. So sometimes it never hurts to go through people's tailings just to see what we could find. You never know. I think that was the biggest crystal I saw up here. Well, at least up right now. There's still some more spots over here I'm gonna kind of check out, but I'm just glad I made it up. Still have to go down there and check it out too. There was this large piece that I found of the host material, and we got a large piece of augite right there. It's a little loose. Oh wait, see that? Oh, there it is. There's another half right there. Seems pretty solid. Nice big piece. But let's see what's on the other half of this big piece of host material. And to do that, we're gonna use our hammer to break it up. This is very soft material too. Doesn't take much. Let's see what we got. Let's see here, no big crystals. We got that big crystal right there. See if we got any crystals in that one. Very brittle. There's a lot of the augite there in the host material. Again, they just range in size. Hold on. Ah, there's a big one right there. Should be nice to keep that in the host material if I can. Maybe I'll wrap up my glove on the way back. Have a nice specimen. Cool. Oh, it just fell out. Oh no. I set it down and it plopped out of the matrix. So the question is, how stable is this piece then? Oh, seems okay, but I think it might break there at some point. I might put this one in my pocket for safekeeping. That's a good sized crystal. Look at that. It's a good sized crystal. That's cool. Looking at the matrix, and there's actually another bigger crystal right there. It just doesn't look complete. So again, you don't necessarily need to have tools. Artists will often have rock hammers with me just in case. But this was a nice little treat. There's another large rock over there on the side. I just now noticed. This material is very wet too, so it doesn't help. But see if we can get this out. Oh, this one isn't very complete. That's okay. Hear pew pews being shot in the background. Oh. Got some crystals in there. I don't see any more big crystals in this piece. Yeah, lucky with that one, I think. Well, I made it to the top of the very steep slope. I took the long way around. I went over there first, and just on the other side of that bank there is where that was, where someone was digging. But I went up and over, and then I came back around this way. So the augite is all in this material right here. You can see little crystals just literally everywhere in this material. So what's happening is this material is very soft. It's eroding. It's very brittle. Look, augite crystal right there. See if I can get my glove off so I can get that. This wasn't planned. You get it? I got it. Boom. Oh, I dropped it. I'll have to get it here in a second. I found it. But anyways, so what's happening is this stuff is eroding. And it's going down the hill. All the way down there. So as far as rockhounding goes, it's very easy just to kind of go down the bottom of the hill and see what crystals you can find. It's all over the side of the mountain. So again, it's fingers. You can bring hammers if you want. I brought mine right there. I was able to use it to break open that big piece and find some cool crystals, but you don't really need them. Yeah, so again, fingers and a container. But I'm still going to kind of poke around here and see what else I can kind of find. So I am a bit curious. I'm still up here at the wall. Someone's been digging up here, so I've been kind of going through some of their tailings, just kind of brushing it down, and then kind of scooping it away. And I found a fair amount of crystals. So I found all these just by sifting through the dirt, and they're pretty good size augite crystals. I'm also curious about what's in these holes, because I found one kind of in the entrance a little bit. Maybe it's got lucky that one time. But it just kind of makes you wonder if maybe bigger crystals fall out of these voids when it's eroding. There's a crystal right there. Blip. There's another hole back here too. Well, yeah, I'm almost done here. It's just kind of nice to get out of town. Take my time. I'm no rush. Just enjoying the day. As you can tell, we're back here in the shop. I was there a lot longer than I thought I was going to be. I was planning for an hour of collecting crystals and ended up spending a lot longer than an hour, because the plan was go there for an hour, collect crystals, go to the beach, take the long way home, and make another video on the way back. And that didn't happen because I didn't leave there until about noon, and it was a long drive as it was already. So 2.5 hour drive for me. So it was a long drive. So now that we're here, let's go ahead and get these augite crystals cleaned up. I do have a couple pieces in the matrix that I managed to find. I'm not going to use the hose on this. I need to be very gentle with the toothbrush because this is very soft material. I hope the other one made it through. Okay, it did. I was hoping to get something that was in the matrix, but I don't know how long these are going to stay in there because this stuff is very, very brittle as far as the matrix goes. I think it's called Tuff. But it's not very tough. It's kind of ironic. Crystal sizes that I got, they shouldn't really fall through this colander here. Oh my god, there's so many. Let's get these sprayed cleaned up. Alright. Let the fun begin. Look at all those crystals. That's so cool. So we got the Augite crystals rinsed off, or not washed off, but they are rinsed off. So the sizes of the crystals will vary out there. You can get some big ones like these ones, and they are pretty cool. But you know, also the small ones are equally as cool, like this one right here. Just look at all those different facets. That is really neat. And I was reading the book that you can also bring a like a screen with you to sift through the dirt to find these. Honestly, with as abundant as they are, you can probably just move your hands to the dirt. You can find them just as easily. But yeah, the sizes will vary out there. And I did have this one in my pocket because I didn't want to have it get broken on the way back. Nice, intact, elongated piece. And I also found this one too. It almost could have been like a double, if that makes any sense. So you have one crystal here on this side and then another one on this side. You can kind of see, maybe if we can zoom in a little bit, kind of see right there where it would have maybe broken off and been another crystal entirely. But I thought that was kind of neat. I did try very carefully to clean up the crystals that were still in the host material. The only downside is this stuff is very, very brittle. I mean, if you look at this piece right here, just watch. It wants to come out of the stone. And I'm pretty sure at some point maybe it might accidentally pop out, because that's what happened to this piece right here. It was in the host material. I set it down very, very gingerly, because my plan was to bring it back in the host material so I can have a specimen put on the shelf, and it fell out. So I will keep this in here as long as I can, just as a display piece. Maybe when it dries out, I'll see what it looks like, and I really don't want to put glue in there, but you know, it'd be cool just to have a specimen piece to show what it looks like in the matrix. Now, as for the other piece, this one was a huge disappointment. This was all one crystal. I mean, I went to go scrub it very carefully, and I'm guessing this was damaged at one point, maybe before I even got it, and the bristles just tore this up. And if you look at here closely, it's very loose. So that kind of sucked, but hey, it's okay. I got plenty of crystals. It was just really cool to be able to have a specimen piece to show the crystal in its natural host material. I am going to wait for this to dry out a little bit, because it does have a lot of other smaller crystals here. It's just really hard to see because everything's still wet, and this material seems to hold in water pretty well. So maybe once it's dry, we can see the crystals a little bit better. But yeah, so that was that little excursion, and I got a nice little haul. I need to figure out how to clean these a little bit better, and then find a way to display these. As far as monetary value goes, it's not worth much of anything, honestly. I mean, I don't even think it's in lapidary purposes if there's really much to this. And none of my machines have any water in them right now, otherwise I'd try it out. I do want to point out that these are relatively brittle crystals. So I have one right here. It's got a hole in the side of it. And I'm willing to bet if I were to put just a little bit of pressure on there, yep, it just breaks. It's very, very brittle. As far as texture goes, kind of reminds me of like very low grade like glass. But check this out. If you look there, it's got a little green hue to it. So my thought process is, if we can get a thin enough slice out of a stable enough piece of crystal, would it be green? or would it be kind of green with some mostly black? So let me know in the comments down below if you think I should try to maybe see if this will cut and polish just for giggles, and I'll do a video on that just to see how well it does. This was a great rock hounding spot and relatively easy to get to and no tools necessary. Again, thank you to Jared over there at Currently Rock Hounding who did this video before I did. By the time you guys are seeing this, it's going to be July. But I filmed this in June and I was hoping to get there a little bit sooner, but hey, things happen. But this spot is also known to the Oregon Rock Hounding books. So again, it's on page 27 on this book and page 28 on this book. And if you want to know more about Augite itself, you can either look it up on Google or on various other websites or look it up in a book. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe, help out the channel so we can do more trips like this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Rock on.